¿Qué tal amigos? Mi nombre es Diana de las Parceritas y les tenemos entrevistas con cada uno de los candidatos a la Cámara de Representantes del Distrito de Suffolk representando a East Boston. Las elecciones se llevarán a cabo el 3 de marzo de este año. Algunos candidatos conocemos, a otros no. Ya vemos mucho que antes de tomar una decisión queremos saber un poco más de ellos. A base de que recibimos muchas preguntas e inquietudes por medio de las redes sociales, ¿qué mejor manera de responder a estas preguntas que de boca de los mismos candidatos? Así que decidimos conocerlos personalmente y que ellos mismos nos digan por qué quieren representar a nuestro apreciado East Boston. Este segmento está patrocinado por Maní Nuts, rico maní dulce con ajonjolí, el maní de las parceritas. Maní Nuts, sabor que deleitará tu paladar. Cómpralo en tu tienda favorita. Chuma's Beauty Salon. Chuma, asesora y cuida tu imagen. 975 Saratoga Street en East Boston. Chocolafé, la perfecta combinación de chocolate y café de Colombia. Visita chocolafé.com para tu orden especial. Restaurante Nápoles, el de la avioneta. Deliciosa comida, excelente servicio y un ambiente que te encantará. 1233 Bennington Street, East Boston.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much. I'm here with Ed Deveau. How you doing? Welcome.
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's really a pleasure to have you here. And are you ready for this?
I am very ready, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what are the duties of a state representative?
Sure. So a state representative is an elected member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives whose job is to represent his district, which is made up of about 40,000 people. In this case, it is the entire neighborhood of East Boston, and I would represent this neighborhood in the state level.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background personally and professionally?
Sure, thank you. Lifelong East Boston resident. I've lived here my entire life. My family has been in East Boston for over a century. I spent 13 years working in the state legislature. I was chief of staff to Senator Anthony Petrocelli when he was both a state representative and a state senator. I've been the chief of staff of a number of different committees up at the State House. I've written legislation. I've followed it through the legislative process. I've been involved in the state budget. I believe I'm the only one in this race with that level of experience.
And how has been your experience working with East Boston residents?
Sure. I love East Boston, and to me, East Boston is home. It always has been. It always will be. It's changed over the years. I think East Boston is in a great position now. It's a wonderful community. It's very vibrant and diverse, and I think that our best days are ahead of us. And I'm very excited to work with the community as a state representative to help move this neighborhood forward.
How do you see East Boston now, and if you get elected? What is your vision for East Boston?
Sure. Like I said, I see East Boston as a very dynamic and vibrant and diverse community. There's a lot of great people here that care very much about the community, a lot of people that want to see this community do well. And my vision is, as I said in the last question, I think our best days are ahead of us. People want to live here. People want to invest here. We have to help those people. We have to make East Boston more attractive, and I feel that good things are on the horizon.
Which are the strategies that you use to identify the problems that East Boston has?
Sure. I think any good elected official or public servant would tell you, I don't have all the answers, and I want to work with the community, all corners of the community, the people that have been here for a century, the people that just moved here, the Latino community, to speak with them, to talk to them, to discuss issues that are important to them, and work with them to do good things for this community. A good leader listens to people.
In your opinion, which one is the biggest problems facing East Boston? And if you get elected, how can you make it better?
Sure. I wouldn't call it a problem, but I think the biggest issue that we have here in East Boston is development. We're starting to finally see development along our waterfront. We're starting to see people build in lots that have been abandoned for a long time. I want to make sure that we're attractive enough as a community for people to want to live here. I want to encourage local businesses to open. I want to help them survive and thrive. But also I want to make sure that the people that have lived here for a long time and the people that want to live here aren't priced out. It's all about balance, and we have to make sure that we have that balance, that we have to make sure that there's that high-end waterfront luxury apartment for someone if they want it, but for the person that's been here, that lives here on Everett Street or Bennington Street or Chelsea Street, that wants to stay here, that wants to live in this community, is able to do so.
And everybody can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
In regards to President Obama immigration executive orders that protects nearly 5 million immigrants, do you agree with the action taken by the president?
Yes, I do. I do agree with the actions taken by the president, and I think we need to do more and can do more for undocumented folks that are here in our community.
Perfect. Will you support a legislation to give driver's license to undocumented immigrants in Massachusetts, and why?
Sure. Yes, I will. And I believe it is a matter of public safety. I believe that there are people undocumented that they have difficulty in obtaining a license, but they're going to work. They're taking their kids to school, and these are necessities. And it's good to know that if they're on the road, your car is insured, and I think it's better for everyone. It makes the lives of those folks a lot easier, and it makes sense.
And on top of that, economic contribution too. Absolutely. They buy cars, they buy insurances.
Of course, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
So another question that we had is East Boston has a big percentage of immigrants, and a lot of them undocumented immigrants that contribute to the economy but are left out in the shadows. Sure. When it comes to the kind of benefits and education, if you get elected, what are the plans to integrate all communities, including the undocumented immigrants, to better East Boston so no one feels left out?
Sure. And this isn't a question that's very important to me. I am the son of an immigrant. My mother came here from another country. She did not speak the language. It was very difficult for her. And, the fact that she was able to move ahead and that I have this position, I mean, I am the perfect example of the American dream. And I think everybody that comes to this country has a right at that American dream, and we have to make sure that we work with everybody. So I will be a state representative that works with all communities. I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from California or Columbia or Cottage Street. We all live in this community. East Boston is our neighborhood. We're all neighbors. We all need to work together, and I think that's the way we're going to move East Boston forward.
Tell us a little bit about EastELs and what it has been the most rewarding experience working with the community.
Sure. And I'm someone, with my experience up at the State House, combined with what I have done in the community. I've always been involved in the community. My family has always been involved in the community in a variety of different forms. My mother was very active in our church. As a kid, my father always coached Little League and helped out with Boy Scouts and things like that. I think it's very, very important to give back to the community. I've been involved in a number of different causes and organizations. One that I'm proud of is the Constitution Beach Association. And what that was, it was an organization we started about 10 years ago. And we were able to help secure funding for the new bathhouse, playground, and concession stand that's there. We were able to work with different organizations to bring programming like Tenacity, the tennis program, and the YMCA has a program. And we were able to do water quality testing to make sure that the water is clean. I mean, that beach is used all the time. It is a great amenity and asset for this community, so I'm really proud of my work there. But I would have to say the proudest achievement for me, both publicly and privately, is EastELs. And that's an organization, we just had our 11th, it was our 11th anniversary this past December. Yep. And I co-founded that along with Senator Petrocelli. And what we do is we're able to collect and distribute toys to thousands of kids and families that need a little help during the holiday and Christmas season. So I've been very fortunate in my life. I'm very blessed. And to be able to help out and make sure that a kid has a Christmas toy under his or her tree every Christmas, and that there's food on the table. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help people, and I'm very proud that I've been able to do that.
What is your opinion about the casino, and in what way do you think it will impact East Boston's residents?
Sure. I think at this point it's very unlikely that a casino will be built in East Boston. The license has gone to the Wynn Casino located in Everett, so I don't think it's going to happen here. And I think what we need to do now is work with the community, work with elected officials to figure out what's the future of that property, what's going to go there. I don't know what that is because I think we need to work with the community to get a good vision as to what the future of that site could be. I know what I don't want to see there. I don't want to see a Massport parking lot. I don't want to see tractor trailers. I want to make sure it's something that really fits into the fabric of this community and is driven through a community process.
And this will be like a great opportunity to integrate communities in a fun location.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. I think there's a lot of land there. There's a lot of great ideas out on the table, and we have to listen to them. And I think we can really come up with something special there.
Another question that we had is, what are your plans to improve the level of education in East Boston schools? Yeah. Because one of the parents was concerned that it was the East Boston High School was not in the top 10. Sure. So that she was wondering, is any possible way, and how will you help if you get elected to make it better?
Sure. as a state representative, we have to make sure that we provide the funding for those schools. And we have to make sure that we give the teachers, who are doing so much with so little, we need to give them the tools that they need to teach our children. And I think those are the basic fundamentals. We need to make sure that the funding's there, that the teachers are given the tools and what they need to help educate the children. And I think that together we can really improve the level of education here in the community. It's one thing that I have, as I'm on the campaign trail, I've spoken about. A lot of parents have come up to me. We have to make sure that all children, no matter who they are, have access to a good quality public education, because that's the great equalizer. I mean, that if you have a great education, you can do great things. We have to make sure that there's funding for English language learners, for kids that don't quite speak English, that want to learn. I think that's a very, very important thing. We have to make sure that there is funding for that. We have to make sure that there's funding for after-school programs. Those are a necessity. So I think when it comes down to it, I'm going to be a state representative that knows that that is a top priority, and that's something I really look forward to working on.
And they are the future. Kids are the future. So investing in them is the most important thing.
You're absolutely right.
And another question is, what opinion do you have about the other candidates?
Sure. As we've gone on in this campaign, I've had many interactions with them. I knew some of them before this campaign. I think they're all wonderful gentlemen, and I think it's been a very positive campaign, and I think they've all been talking about their issues and why it's important to them. And this shouldn't be a popularity contest. This shouldn't be a competition as to who loves East Boston the most, because I believe we all love East Boston. What this race is the opportunity to choose someone that has over a decade of experience working at the State House like I have. Someone that has been through this. For me, there's no learning curve. I can start my job on day number one. I'm ready to hit the ground running. I have the relationships and the experience up at the State House, and I feel that's why I'm the best candidate.
Can you share with us an experience that make you want to run for this position?
Sure. It would be really hard to pick one, I guess. But, just from my time, I think that public service, it's not a job. I don't look at this as a job. I think that this is a calling. For me, it's my opportunity to give back to this community. And, from my time up in Senator Petroselli's office, we got, people call that office because they don't know who else to call. And sometimes you're their last resort. And it's for people that, again, don't have food at Christmas or don't have a place to live. And, substance abuse is a big issue here. People that would call, looking for treatment and help. And to be able to handle those calls and to be able to help those folks, it's the most rewarding experience I could ever have. And I think it's incredibly important. I feel for me, again, it's a calling. It's something that I want to do. It's something I want to give back to this community. This community has been very good to me. And if I can help in my own little way, then I'm happy to do that.
And if you have to choose, this is for Jenny. I have to say her name because if you had to choose a book, a person, and a movie, which one will you choose and why?
Okay. Could I choose a couple people?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. So, I've just been fortunate in my life to have a lot of good mentors and people that have helped me along the way. But actually, if I'm going to pick one, when I was 7 years old, I had a brother that passed away. And, he was 4 years old, and he had cancer. And my family and I have always supported a number of different causes. And every summer we have a fundraiser for the Jimmy Fund right here at the Orient Heights Yacht Club. So, I always look to him as someone that, he didn't have a lot of time. And for me to be able to go on and do things and live a full life, it's very important for me. It's very important to give back and to realize the important things in life. Really puts things in perspective. So for me, when I'm a little down or things seem tough, I think about him, and it just makes me realize how great life is and all the good things that we can do and how important it is to help people. Yeah.
And a movie?
A movie? Can I just pick a favorite movie? Or a movie? Jeez, there's so many. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite, True Lies. I like action movies, yeah.
That's a good one. I'll pick that one. How's that sound? I like all kinds of movies. If you have to pick, I like comedies. What do you see? Animal House. I like old mob movies like Goodfellas and The Godfather, Shawshank Redemption. All kinds of good stuff. So, well, it's Valentine's Day. I'll say a romantic movie too. So my girlfriend will like hearing that.
There you go. Yeah. It's a book.
A book. What is my favorite book? I have to say this. So another person that was very instrumental. I had a lot of good teachers. I went to, it's not here anymore, but I went to Dom Savio High School that was located in East Boston. It's now the Brooks Charter School. And had a lot of great English teachers. And one teacher in particular, Mr. Sullivan, he had us read A Catcher in the Rye. And it's a great American classic, and it's always something that stood out. And there's a great chapter in there, a great part about helping people, and that's something that always kind of stuck with me as well.
Great. I'm sure Jenny's going to be reading all that, you know. Thank you very much for granting this interview. Yeah. Thank you for sharing with the community. And now I'm going to give you a minute so you can actually share and you can tell them why they should trust and vote for you.
Sure. Thank you. Again, my name is Ed Deveau. I'm a lifelong resident here in East Boston. I care very deeply about the future of this community. I am the son of an immigrant. I am the grandson of a Boston firefighter. My family roots run deep here in this community. I have over 13 years' experience working in the state legislature. I'm the only candidate in this race with that level of experience. I've been very involved in this community. I was a co-founder of East These Elves. I was the chair of the Constitution Beach Association. I've been the vice president of the board of directors at the Salesian Boys and Girls Club, which helps thousands of kids here in this community. I was a member of the East Boston Athletic Board, which gives college scholarships to kids from East Boston. So I just think when you take my level of experience up at the State House mixed with my dedication and commitment to this community, I'm the best candidate, and I want to work with you. I want to work with every member of this community, no matter where you're from, and I humbly ask for your vote on March 3rd.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Chuma's Model Academy and Beauty Salon, estilista y asesor de imagen titulado dentro del mundo de la belleza y la moda, especializados en peluquería, corte de dama y caballero, peinados, extensiones, tintes, maquillaje profesional, etiqueta y protocolo, pasarela, glamour y mucho más. Chuma junto a su gran equipo atenderán todas tus necesidades para que descubras la belleza que hay en ti. 975 Saratoga Street en East Boston, teléfono 617-418-5139. Chuma's Model Academy and Beauty Salon, porque Chuma asesora y cuida tu imagen. Restaurante y Bar Nápoles, el de la avioneta, le trae a usted deliciosa comida y excelente servicio. Un pedacito de Colombia en Boston, con un servicio excepcional y un ambiente que te encantará. Restaurante y Bar Nápoles, el de la avioneta, 1233 Bennington Street en East Boston. Restaurante y Bar Nápoles, el de la avioneta. Visítalo ya.